Welcome to Projection Reflection. I'm your host, Coronado, and welcome to another Dragon Ball Z movie review. Today's review is Battle of Gods. And also, I'm glad Hunter showed me that little instant transmission trick. Gets me around a lot faster. This movie was released back in 2013 in Japan, and in 2014 in the good old USA. A little bit of facts before I get in the review of this film. It was the first Dragon Ball film in 17 years. 17 years, people! It took Akira Toriyama that long to create this, but if it wasn't for the failure of Dragon Ball Evolution, such a god-awful live-action Dragon Ball film, if it wasn't for that film's failure, we would not have Dragon Ball Super or Battle of the Gods or the film after Battle of the Gods, Resurrection F. So yeah, that's one thing we can thank Dragon Ball Evolution for, is Super and these two films. It also says here that first Japanese film to screen in IMAX theaters. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Creator Akira Toriyama was deeply involved in this film. And I mean deeply, like during production of the film. That early on. So that's really good. It's really good to have the creator of the characters being there during the production of the film, because it's good to have the creator's vision added to the film, because I mean he created, I believe the Beerus character and the Whis character and all these other characters in the Super series he created. So it's good to have his designs in there. So that's cool. The first arc of Dragon Ball Super retells the story in 14 episodes. So it took 14 episodes to tell just the span of this film. That's the way Dragon Ball Super is. So that's the way Dragon Ball Z was. It took forever for the Frieza and Goku fight, and they said it's 5 minutes until this planet is destroyed, and it was definitely longer than 5 minutes. Some of the story was altered a good bit though for the TV show. Let's get into the actual film here. Let me read the plot here. The plot involves Beerus, the god of destruction, learning of the defeat of the galactic overlord Frieza at the hands of Goku. Seeking an opponent worthy of his power, Beerus, along with his companion Whis, travels to the North Galaxy to challenge Goku to a battle. And that's the main plot of the film. Guys, this is by far one of the greatest Dragon Ball Z films I have ever watched. It is incredibly good. First thing I want to get off the bat is by far the best animation I've ever seen in a DBZ film. The way that the fights are choreographed in here, because it's mixed with 2D animation and 3D animation, so it makes the fights look so much bigger. We're so used to seeing DBZ fights just in 2-dimensional, but with 3D mixed in with that, it makes the backgrounds the fights look just immense, and it looks absolutely amazing. And I've never seen Goku, Vegeta, and all those characters look so good animated. It looked outstanding. The colors were vibrant. The mix of 3D and 2D animation, just amazing. Great. This movie had a great intro. It showed all the previous Dragon Ball stories, from Goku meeting Bulma. They said, "Oh, this is just a strange a strange meeting between two characters, and who thought that a strange meeting like that would lead to a movie like this is just. But it was cool to see the intro and show all of the previous stories of the Dragon Ball. Beerus is by far one of the coolest new characters I've seen in Dragon Ball Z. I love Beerus and I love Whis. I love his design. He looks kind of like a jackal almost. Well, jackal's a dog, but it looks like almost like a combination of a jackal and a cat, I believe, like kind of like Anubis, kind of an Egyptian cat. And of course, since he's a god, that makes sense that he looks like an Egyptian god. So his design is just very, very cool looking. He just looks like a skinless cat, but he's a badass skinless cat. Let me see here. Whis is also a really cool character. He's kind of like an angel, almost. He's the guardian of Beerus. He's also the one who trained Beerus. And he just has a really cool design. He almost has kind of this halo around his neck, and he has this cool, like, powerful staff that he holds that he showed Beerus, like, the death of Frieza by the hands of Goku, but technically Trunks killed Frieza, but, Goku destroyed Frieza first, so Goku gets the win there. But yeah, he had this cool staff and showed Beerus past events, and it was really cool. Whis is just a really funny. He's a very funny character. He's very very comical, and he's almost like he's always got like a gentleman like banter to him. He always talks very like he's like like a very fancy British man, like something like that. I love that all the Z fighters were in this film. Just seeing Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, Oolong, Bulma, Vegeta, Goku, Krillin, Android 18, like everybody is in this film. It was good to see Mr. Brief and his wife, who like never ages. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Mr. Satan. Yeah, Mr. Satan's in this film also. It's cool to see him and Majin Buu. I gotta say, the Super Saiyan God transformation was mind-blowing. Seeing that in this film, it's of course it's both Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, Goten, and the unborn Pan, Videl and Gohan's daughter, have to fuse their power, have to sync their powers to one Saiyan in order for Goku to go Super Saiyan God. Because that's because Beerus had this whole premonition that about a Super Saiyan God, and that he would battle this Super Saiyan God. And Goku becomes, when he transforms into a Super Saiyan God, he has kind of like this reddish pinkish hair, and he looks slimmer and younger. And his power is just immense. But Goku still hates that he had to take power from others in order to reach this point to try and defeat Beerus, because you know how Goku is. He has a lot of pride. He has a lot of Saiyan pride. And he doesn't want to live off other people's energy. He wants to beat Beerus by his own power, not by anybody else's. And I love that about Goku. He just likes to stand on his own, and that's just really cool and really admirable. Let's see. The fight between Beerus and Goku was by far one of the greatest Dragon Ball Z battles I've seen on screen. It's the part where Goku loses the Super Saiyan God power, and he still is able to go toe-to-toe with Beerus. Because I just love the part where all this rubble's coming around Goku, and he's like, I want to let you destroy my world! And he, bashes it. You see him, all his power, build up, and he's going through the gravel, all the rocks, and you see him jump into space, and you see him instant transmission, everywhere, and Beerus isn't seeing where he's going, and you see Goku do, a big Kamehameha wave to Beerus. It was just outstanding. I absolutely love that part, because Goku is absolutely giving it his all in this battle, because he no longer has a Super Saiyan God power, and Beerus even informs him that Goku didn't even notice that he lost the power, but yet he's still battling Beerus toe-to-toe and be able to equal him in a way. Even though Beerus says he was only using 50, 60 some percent of his power, not all of his power, but Beerus still thought Goku was an admirable rival. And oh, that battle was just amazing. Just like I said, with the 3D and 2D animation, the battle just seemed bigger. And Beerus and Goku's fight was just wow. I think the whole story was a great build-up to Beerus and Goku's eventual fight. Because there actually isn't much fighting in this film. There's a little bit, but it really doesn't come to it really doesn't come into the big fight until almost around the end of the film. But before that, we're given really good stories of what's everybody doing now. What is everybody up to? And of course, it's Bulma's birthday during the story, so you get this cool little party with everybody there, and you can see everybody having fun. And there's a lot of comedy in that. And I love that. Of course, we get to see King Kai again with Goku training on King Kai's planet, and I just love seeing all those characters again after 17 years. Like after 17 years of waiting to see them again, it was really cool seeing those characters like just interact with each other once again, and it's just cool. Like I said, it was a cool intro scene. Cool intro scene in the movie, but after that, it was just lots of great build-up. Of course, Goku training to try and defeat Beerus. Just that whole thing, just seeing all these great characters again. Of course, one of the cool things I really liked in the movie that was added was the addition of Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai, who are from the Dragon Ball series that I also really love. And they were somehow, I think, after the last wish on the Dragon Balls, they wished to be young again. And because I think Mai in the movie says she's like 41. And I guess, because they would turn back into little kids. And I thought that was cute and funny. It was just cool to see those characters again, and I'm glad that they're in the Dragon Ball Super series as well. And it's kind of weird, but kind of cute that like Mai and Trunks are kind of a thing, even though Mai is like a lot older than Trunks. But it's still they're still a cute couple. I mean, come on. But yeah, this is another thing. I love the comedy in this film, especially with Emperor Pilaf, Mai, and Shu. They were always very comical characters in the Dragon Ball Z series, and it was cool to see them in this series as well. Because I feel like this movie was definitely a great combination, just like how I feel Dragon Ball Super is. It's a great combination of the comedy of Dragon Ball mixed with the action of Dragon Ball Z. You mesh them together, and you get Dragon Ball Super. And that's what you also get this movie, Battle of Gods, which is by far one of the greatest Dragon Ball Z films ever. Man. Another thing with I gotta say real quick with the comedy, just Vegeta's dance. Vegeta dancing in this film was absolutely hilarious. And of course, this is just another part that one of my other favorite parts, because I would totally do this if this happened to my wife, was when Beerus slaps Bulma and you just see Vegeta like surpass Goku just for a little bit to take on Beerus because he was so mad that Beerus hit Bulma. Like, I just love that part. He's like, "That's my Bulma!" And he goes, "Oh, that was just too cool." Man, guys, I have got to give Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods a 5 out of 5. That is by far it's by far one of the greatest Dragon Ball Z films ever. Just like I said earlier, it's just so great. So good. Great animation, great fights, great comedy, great characters, great story. Everything is great about this movie. It is a 5 out of 5 movie for sure. You gotta watch it. Best Dragon Ball Z film ever. So yeah, check it out, and see you later, guys. You give me